New York Times, USA Today, the Philadelphia Inquirer. These names have been around for decades, plastered on newspapers, but today, they are found on the web instead. Like in modern times, newspapers were not popular when they came to the colonies. The first newspaper, Public Occurrences, was banned after only one issue. The Boston Newsletter did not fare any better. It wasn't until Benjamin Franklin released the Pennsylvania Gazette that newspapers started to gain respect. However, the business did not experience the boom until the 1800s, when two men changed the world of newspapers. Joseph Pulitzer was a Jewish-Hungarian immigrant who bought the New York World in 1883. He wrote sensational stories that appealed to the working class and even employed female journalists such as Nellie Bly. The anti-business, anti-monopoly stories enthralled readers, and the newspaper empire thrived under Pulitzer. There was one man who could challenge his power, William Randolph Hearst. Hearst came from a different background. He was rich, and after he was expelled from Harvard, he took over the San Francisco Examiner. Later, Hearst bought the New York Journal with his inheritance. Like Pulitzer, his sensational stories appealed to the working class, but Hearst also invented interviews, faked photos, and encouraged conflicts. The two men were rivals, especially since Hearst raided the New York World for editors, writers, and cartoonists. Under these two men, the newspaper business became an empire. Both the New York World and Journal had Sunday circulation of nearly 600,000, an astounding number in the late 1800s. Since then, newspapers have been the go-to if you want to learn about any world events. Then came the rise of the internet. Because it was free and faster to access news, more people relied on the internet for current events. The empire is crumbling, and their attempts to profit in the electronic era only doomed the business. They tried to sell a lot of ads, which annoyed readers. They tried to raise prices, which further drove consumers to cheaper media. They paid reporters less to save money, which resulted in poor quality articles. By the time they did adapt to electronics, they already lost many subscribers. So where do newspapers stand today, and how do they play a part in our modern society?
Last time I read a newspaper, I'm going to say it's about 3 weeks ago.
I tend to read the newspaper probably every day, or at a minimum 4 times a week.
I've personally never used a newspaper as a news source. My parents do, so there's a lot of newspapers in my house, but I've never really read one personally.
It's interesting, I guess. I go to television or online, but when you think online, it's probably some arm of the newspaper anyway, since all the media outlets are owned by 5-6 major corporations anyway.
I actually get a lot of updates. I get like push notifications. I have a news app that'll push stuff from like the BBC, stuff like that. So I just kind of get it pushed to me.
CNN. I watch CNN a lot. I do have the CNN notifications on my phone, but I'm not always on my phone, so I don't really get it from there. I get it from TV. I think it will definitely cease to exist. You can just, tell from, how we've grown to digital. We're just everything. We use our phones, we use the television. I just feel newspapers are becoming less and less popular as a news source to people, so I think they will definitely cease to exist in the years to come.
So when people choose to read a newspaper, they prefer to read it in print and about their local news. So I'm hoping that there is a future.
I think they're going to evolve. They'll still tailor news to you. People would like to pay even a little bit for tailored news. So I still think that'll exist. It'll just evolve.
Well, today, newspapers are not the go-to for information anymore, what with the convenience of the internet and social media. But the business isn't going to go away anytime soon. In October 2015, the New York Times achieved 1 million online subscribers. So the future of newspapers is uncertain, but one thing's for sure, Even though newspapers are not as popular today as they were in past decades, they still had a significant impact on history and will continue to have an impact on the future.